Right. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us for another WKS podcast. This time I'm here with Ian and Alex, who are from a band called Of Stone and Earth. Is that right?
That's right. That's it. That's us.
Brilliant. I was just saying before we sort of started recording that you are Dartmoor based.
That's right. We are. Yeah, we're just on the sort of eastern edge of Dartmoor.
Okay.
Uh,
So how long have you
Chang-
been together then, musically?
Musically, I think we're about 3 or 4 years, I guess. And we started. We're both members of Wreckers Border Morris, which is a Cornish Morris side. And as you do after sort of Morris dance outs, everyone sort of goes to the pub, and there's always a music session. And I started playing for Alex, singing, and we're doing covers of songs, and we sort of started finding it really worked.
Right.
And so we thought, well, yeah, let's sort of start a duo and sort of work together like that. And that's
Okay.
where it was born, really.
Right. So do you play an instrument, Alex, or just sing? You're the vocal side of it?
I just sing, yeah, just sing in the duo.
Okay. And Ian, I assume
And
guitar, is that right?
no, I play accordion. I play
Okay.
piano
Right.
accordion. So it's slightly unusual. Yeah.
No,
So
lovely.
yeah. Yeah. So I think we started doing a lot of covers. Doing the usual sort of open mics and things like that. And then people were sort of saying you should write some of your own material, and I've long wanted to sort of write songs, and so we started thinking about doing that, and it just turned out very sort of fortuitous that Alex is very good at writing words, and
Yeah.
I'm good at writing the music. So
You've written a couple, and I thought, well,
yeah.
I think I better pull my own finger out and start writing my own words as well. I don't have a lot to do with like the technical bit of the music. I usually just say, hand over me words and say the sort of feeling and the idea behind what the words mean and what I'm looking for, and then you sort of develop it.
Yeah, take the music from there.
Through there.
And luckily, I think I get a bit of a sixth sense of what Alex wants as well. So it's quite a good partnership like that. She'll give me the words, and sometimes she doesn't really need to say too much about what she wants out of the song. I can sort of pick it up. I guess I know her so well, so I suppose you just it works.
So do you find the creative process, challenging or really simple, or how's it work for you, that process?
I wouldn't say it was simple, but I think it's fair. It comes fairly naturally, I think.
Yeah, I think one of the important things is to learn what your trigger is. So what is the thing that triggers the sort of ideas and the creativeness? And I think once you've located that and how to work it, then the actual songwriting itself can be quite easy sometimes. That doesn't mean that we don't get a song that can be a bit more difficult to birth because there's something we're just stuck on. But
I think, like all songwriters, some songs come very quickly, and it's just there, and other songs just there's got a longer sort of gestation period, really.
Okay.
And but sometimes you sort of abandon them for a while and come back to them and that. But I think I just enjoy. Although I play piano accordion, my first instrument's piano, so I always write at the piano. And so I just enjoy sitting at the piano and messing around with chords and melodies and
So I'm assuming then that with the lockdown and all this thing, you're in that position, luckily, where you're together.
Yes.
So musically, you're still developing it and using and going, whereas a lot of bands, they're split, like.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I mean it's been very useful for us. We're very lucky like that because we're husband and wife, and so we're sort of both under the same roof. So so lockdown did. I mean, we did a gig. We did our first gig of original material back in February, and it went down really well. And then lockdown happened.
Yes.
The first lockdown came in about a week after we'd done our first gig, and that's why we sort of decided, well, let's sort of aim to sort of do some recordings and not necessarily to do an album, which we sort of ended up with, but it was to sort of use the time to.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I suppose I know lots of people found lockdown has sort of killed their creativity, but I suppose for us it was, we've got nothing else to do, we might as well start ploughing lots of energy into that while we can. And it kind of took the pressure off us as well, because we could write and develop and sort of, you know, polish songs and make them their own little stories without feeling that we had to always display them at, you know, open mics at them, you know, and that sort of thing. So that was quite nice. It's been nice to be able to be creative without the pressure, but obviously now it'd be actually quite nice to sing.
Actually nice to take them out.
Yeah. So did you mention you've got an album on the way? Is that true, or?
We've just released it about December.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's called Strangely Beautiful. So it's available on Bandcamp. And it's that is actually our first sort of foray into recording at all.
Do you record at home? Are you?
No, we were sort of thinking about recording at home, but with the sort of gear we had at home, we couldn't really get the sound quality we wanted. So we used a little studio down in Seaton,
okay,
Devon,
right.
With George Arnold, and he recorded for us. So we went there really to record 4 or 5 songs, to do a little promo sort of EP, and we ended up recording sort of 9 or 10 songs.
Right.
The time we were there, and we thought, well, you know, we were happy with them, so we thought, well,
why not? Why not?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So, have you got anything on YouTube at all? Any tunes or?
Yes, we do. We've got a YouTube channel, which is Off Stone and Earth, of course.
Normally what I do is I ask for 2, if you've got 2 music videos on YouTube that I can tag into a section on this. So is there any 2 that you particularly want me to put up?
There's Wild Creature, Seaweed Song possibly.
There's Earth Melts Away. There's 3 videos connected to this.
There's 3 videos connected to the album. So on our channel you'll see there's about 3 sections in it. One's called Archive, which is all sorts of rehearsal stuff. Right. Then there's one Strangely Beautiful, and there's 3 videos in there. So yeah, pick whichever 2 you want of those, actually.
Okay, I will do. Fantastic. So let's do a daft question now then. What's the most useless talent you think you have?
The most useless talent. That's a really good question. I don't think I've ever been asked that before. I can't think of a useless talent. I've probably got plenty. I just can't think that. I'm very good at doing jigsaws.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is pretty useless. It's been very useful during lockdown, I have to say. Yeah.
And I suppose that disease has spread to me as well. So, you know, you can imagine us of an evening both doing jigsaws. So that's the
kind of exciting life we're living, you know.
Well, my wife does the jigsaws. She loves them, and I'm not a great fan. No. I prefer to put my patience elsewhere, you know. So out of the songs you've got on your album, then what would you say is your most favorite one to sort of play?
That's difficult. It is like picking your own children, isn't it? Seaweed Song is great fun to sort of play. It's got an unusual rhythm. It's written in 9/4, but it's kind of like a 4/3 and 2 sort of rhythm to make up the 9. Okay. That's great fun to play. And it's good to sing.
We love picking things about nature. So, you know, one day I think I saw a book about seaweed and it just sparked a thing. And I thought, wouldn't it be great to look at the different seaweeds and get some of their unusual characteristics in? And then I just thought also we could make a great video. So off to the, you know, beach we went, rock pooling, walk with the camera and stuff. So it's just that was really good fun.
Exactly.
And people like that when we do that, because it's just quite cooky as well. So
yeah, and so quite a lot of our songs are sort of themed around nature, and then I guess the other sort of theme is sort of human emotion as well, and quite sometimes a sort of slightly dark side of that as well.
Right.
And actually probably even slightly dark side of nature. There's a certain sort of darkness, I think.
I think the Living on Dartmoor probably has a lot of inspiration there.
It does, absolutely. Yeah, it certainly does. Yeah, exactly.
It's an amazing place. Amazing place.
Yeah. It is beautiful.
Okay, so if you were talking to a younger version of yourself, I don't know, when you were say 14 years old, what bit of advice would you give yourself?
To put a lot more effort into my music. Then, I think I was learning piano when I was 14, and it was just something I kind of, like lots of people do, you know. And I was quite involved with the music at school, but as I got a little bit older, that sort of fell by the wayside. And then I've picked it up later on in life again, and I'm just enjoying it so much. I often wish now that we were doing what we're doing now, but 20 years ago. So I tell myself to not give up on the music. Yeah.
I'd probably say to myself is just believe in yourself. You can pretty much do anything if you put your mind to it, and don't give up. And you know, because with this, we've just thrown everything at it, and you know, it pays off in the end. I think when I was younger, I did lots of different things and just let them fizzle out. Where you know, I just think if I put that effort into doing that, you know, you know, think where I might be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Brilliant. So in a I don't know, in a strange world, in the altered world, you know, if you could open for any artist or band or whatever you, who would it be? If you could support them, who would it be?
I think that's very simple for Alex.
For me, that would be Björk, because I've had a lifelong musical love affair with her music, and I've picked lots of elements from that. And again, you know, we've been to Iceland, and you know, I think Dartmoor and Iceland have a sort of strange connection as well, with that sort of darkness and the vast sort of landscapes you can get. So yeah, Björk would be for me.
For me, that's quite tricky. Of current artists, actually, I'm a big fan of Guy Garvey and Elbow.
Right.
I love that, but I'm also I love everything from sort of opera through jazz through golden era film music, Bowie, you know, all those sort of people like that, Pink Floyd. So there's a lot of those bands. If you could possibly ever open for Bowie, you could bring him back, then that would be I can't imagine that's most people's dream. But a current artist, but someone like Guy Garvey, I think, would be
superb. Superb.
Cool. Yeah.
So what's next for Of Stone and Earth then? What's next?
So I think we want to start doing some online gigs. I think we're getting ourselves teched up a little bit slowly to start doing that.
Yeah.
And obviously, once we can get back to some sort of normality, whenever that will be, like all musicians, it'll just be nice to get back playing live, going to festivals again, going to folk festivals. And then trying to sort of hopefully get some spots at sort of festival spots, open mics.
Yeah, and we're constantly writing. We've just got lots of songs that we're just like collecting, and I can see for the future lots of production, maybe more that sort of thing, and widening our sort of collaborations with different people and adding to the sound, really.
Yeah, that's a big one actually. At the moment, it's just accordion and voice. And that's fine. It works well, and people seem to like what we do with that. But in our heads, we can hear more sort of yeah, as Alex says, more production, collaborating with other people, so the really good percussionists or good bass or whatever, you know, just bringing in other instruments to the mix, really.
Brilliant, brilliant. Right, final question. I ask this of every artist. If you've looked at the previous ones, you might know what's coming. Is there anybody you'd like to thank for you being here musically now?
There's quite a few people, actually. I mean, I suppose it sounds like an Oscar speech, doesn't it? But I suppose my parents were encouraging me and keeping me at it when I was a kid. I mean, that huge one, I suppose, yeah. And that's and I lost my mother last year, so that's even more poignant, really. But also people like Hannah James, I suppose.
Yeah, Hannah James. We've done songwriting, you know, courses with Hannah, and again, that's, you know, really sparked us off.
It just really inspired us. I think we'd started writing songs beforehand, and we went to a sort of workshop with Hannah, and it was really a workshop for performance, and but it kind of turned into a sort of songwriting weekend, really. And we came back from that weekend just sort of, and it's sort of, you know, snowballed after that, really. So
yeah, and I've done courses, singing courses with Lady Major, who Hannah's, you know, part of, and again, the sort of inspiration from them has just kept pushing and pushing me. And I suppose, you know, friends and family who've always encouraged us to get up and do our thing, because otherwise we'd probably just shy away and sit in the corner. But they've
friends have been really important, just, actually,
like,
encouraging us to
do a song, and you know,
to do it. Yeah,
and I've pushed us, you know, then, you know, their support just keeps pushing us all the time. So
superb, guys. Look, thank you so much for giving me the time.
Thank you. No, thank you very much.
And good luck with everything. Good luck. Hopefully, you know, when we come out the lockdown, and you know, one day when I'm up on the moors, I might bump into you in one of the old sessions up there. You never know.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, take care, guys.
You too. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.